General, would you care to subscribe to Hollywood Toys?
Superman!
Superman, thank God. I mean, get him! Come to me, son of Jor-El! Kneel before Zod!
Hi, I'm Jackal Howard, and you're watching Hollywood Toys.
Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to Hollywood Toys, the only place where you can live the movies. I am your host, Magic Mike, and welcome to my channel, where I do travel and entertainment vlogs, where I cover theme parks, comic and horror cons, movies, celebrities, action figures, video games, and more. And I also have some pretty cool action figure and movie merch as well. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that notification bell so that you won't miss out on any future videos, live streams, or new product releases. And now, it's magic time. Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to Hollywood Toys, the only place where you can live the movies. I am your host, Magic Mike, and welcome back to the channel, where I do travel and entertainment vlogs, where I cover theme parks, comic and horror cons, movies, celebrities, action figures, and all that great stuff. Welcome to the show. Here we are for another exciting, fantastic Mailing Monday. Glad you can join me here today. Thank you for stopping by. You guys are awesome. And we already got people in the chat. We got my favorite little sis, Miss Tina. She says, "Hi, Mike, how was your day? I hope this drama-free." Oh, yeah. Did you see my head last night? I did. Looking very pretty, Tina. Very nice. My best and loyal customer so far is here, Mr. Jason. He says, "Here, brother, literally being screwed up for me lately. Had to uninstall and reinstall. Maybe just I got an iPhone." That's right, because I guess you do everything on your phone and not a computer. I'm the opposite. I do everything, almost everything on my computer and almost nothing on my phone. Just depends. But yeah, technology. What are you gonna do, right? Oh, hey everybody in the chat. Yeah, I got it. Messages just being stupid and the notification thing won't go away. Always says 1 on it. Been working on my scene some today, plus got grandson. A new grandson? Congratulations. Can't wait to see your stuff you made, cause you know me, I'll make it. I've spent so much money since started making these scenes. Yeah, don't I know it. I could probably pay all my bills just from your orders alone. So I can't say thank you enough. And so I'm going to be, of course, getting into all of that good stuff on what I've been up to, where I'm headed, where I'm going. But yeah. And then Joey says arms have been put down. Indeed. No, I got both, just using laptop 3D printing. Yeah, and I don't remember if I mentioned that or not because you sent me that message. So yeah, I definitely at some point myself I think want to look into maybe getting into 3D printing, for my own stuff so I can make, diorama props as well as full scale props, little by little. So we shall. No, just one grandson. Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice. So yeah, I am so happy today, so relieved that I finally hashed things out with Zach the Incredible Impression. Boy, was that whole episode a doozy. Trying for days and days to figure out how to make peace with it and lower the temperature. And just what I was doing wasn't working. Uh, it was just a combination of two egos going at each other, trolls adding fuel to the fire, and just at the end of the day, what kind of started as like a huge misunderstanding from the very start. What started out as a seed that turned into a grenade, that grenade got tossed, and all hell broke loose. But thankfully, that's all behind us. So thank you. Shout out to Zach for taking up my request of doing a peace panel last night. Even though he wasn't planning on doing a panel, being tired from traveling and all that. So he's the hero of the day of the week. I'm the community dunce of the week, but it is what it is. So hopefully this can be a lesson learned, not just for me and Zach, but for the whole community, and not just the community, but in everybody's everyday personal life. That if somebody makes an accusation against somebody, to not just jump to, oh, I guess that must be true. Nothing wrong with doing a little fact checking, check with all parties involved, get everybody's side of the story, and get to the root of the problem over what probably started as just a misunderstanding, before it could get out of hand. So, yeah. Um, Amber Leghorn. Hey, Mike. Hey, Amber. Thanks for stopping by. So, yeah, now it's raining. So yeah. Plus yeah, so when it came to me and Zach, it was just a matter of like me trying to prove one thing, him trying to prove one thing, me saying I didn't do it, him saying I did do it, which it doesn't even matter what that was. I didn't. You did. I didn't. You did. Now I'm getting pissed off because you keep, whatever. So I thought I was making things better by saying, all this stuff that's being said about me isn't true. I'm just trying to prove my innocence. I don't care. You did it. I'm still gonna be mad. Whatever. So, as he said, we were ready to write each other off completely for life. And my ego was just getting in the way of like, I don't care. It's about standards, and I'm gonna prove I'm right, whatever, at all costs. But then after a while, I'm like, you know what? You know, sometimes, through time, things just get old, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't care about being right or wrong, or you know, proving who's right and wrong, and all that stuff. So I'm like, you know what? Obviously, what I'm trying to do, trying to make peace, isn't working. So let me just go the opposite direction and say, you know what? The hell with it. The hell with, I don't want to be his friend anymore or talk anymore. Let me go the opposite direction. and just be like, you know what? Let's just be friends again. Put this all behind us. And I gave my other friend Fears a chance just when I thought I had my mind convinced I was never going to talk to him again and written him completely off. But I gave him another chance. So I'm like, you know what? Just to be fair, let's just do the same with Zach. So we're back on that tack. The vlog squad is back. Yeah. All right. So gonna get started on printing on some labels, talking about life, and all that good garbage. All right. So, oh yeah, I see you message me as saying is my Etsy being a screw up? No, I had to delete it and put it back on in order to do anything. So where you let's go ahead and place order or yeah. All right. So I'm almost there, Jason. Um but yeah, I'm going to be getting into all that. Almost being done, caught up on everything. So we're gonna get those label cables. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I'm glad to report I had a great one that had a happy ending and all that good stuff. So yeah, so just bear with me while I do my thing, print up some labels, and we can get into the good stuff while also waiting for more people to join. Hey, where did I just close out what I was just? Oh my goodness. I'm a mess now. Okay. Come on now. Just gonna rock these out. What do you say? Alright, get labels. Oh, dang it. That's right. One of them. Since I couldn't. Oh man, I hate these international ones that. Uh, no. Can this old veteran give you all some advice? Do your best to be there for your friends. All my friends are dead, rather by nature, or they took their life. There's nothing worth losing a friend. Thank you, Jason. Great advice. Select select a location. I think I'm in the United States, mate. Yep. Uh, I don't get it. Combine or oh, that doesn't. Because sometimes friend is better than family. Oh, that's true. What's Google have to say about this? Let's see. Well, it's all. Mm, Wait, Kala. Sure, that doesn't help now, does it? 8205. I got that right. First of all, uh, okay. A pirate ship again. I have this crazy address from Spain, but on Etsy, it's saying it's an invalid address because it's too long. Usually I can figure these things out, even if I have to. Um, Input needed. How do I go to? Come on. What input do you need? Okay, there we go. Like, what is a province and what is a state, and what is the difference between the two? If the Because it says the province is Santa Cruz de Tenerife or something. City on, okay, city. So Google says that part is a city. Okay. Um, got the address. And we'll do that. We got the zip code. City on, yeah, I did check on Google Maps. City on. So is Tenerife a state? It just says it's an island in Spain. All right, I'll put that there. Okay, I think we got it. Oh no, we need to make it a envelope. Sure we got the measurements right. Sorry, I promise there'll be more talking in a moment as soon as I get this figured out. All right, so basically 11 by 14. Okay. 14, 11. Yeah. Get rates. Looking great. All right, no issues. $29.60. Purchase label. Print label. What number is that? 1, 2, 3. Oh, not plugged in. We need more power. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Plug it in, plug it in. Plug it in, plug it in. Yeah. All right. Oh, and we're back. Hello, folks, and welcome to the show. It's your host, Magic Mike, taking it easy and easy on this lovely afternoon. And it stopped raining again already. It can't make up its mind, but it is Florida. Typical Orlando for you. Come on. Okay, so cancel that. Or no. Right, get labels. Remove that order. Yep. That is correct. And that is correct. And the review and purchase. We're almost there. Boom. Print again. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Well, might as well start getting started on cutting this bad boy out. So I'm going to be talking a bit today about some tips and tricks on for anyone that wants to start their own business and wants to, build some wealth, become super financially secure, and set yourself up for life where you never have to worry about money ever again. Because that's the journey that I am on. I'm on a financial journey. I'm on a health journey. I'm on a weight loss journey. Just all kinds of journeys happening all over the place. So, yeah, how do you like them apples? Bukkake, yellow. Yellow. Just in time for the madness, maybe. I don't know. There's no telling what's going to happen around here when we're trying to print labels and missing a package or item or not. So yeah, I'm going to get into wealth building and sort orders for which segues into explaining myself on where I'm at. Okay, that's a lot of more labels. Okay, so get shipping labels, combine orders. 4? What are we combining? This better not be right. All right, so Joel ordered a couple of things. Make sure Joel only had those 2 things. Yeah, all right, so combine. But we still see 2 others. Where are they at? We got Sean, we got Joel, we got... Oh, James has a couple. Yeah, all right. So James has 2 orders to combine. So once again, combine orders per buyer. Why aren't you letting me combine those, you stupid a-holes? Come on. Please? Please show up. Yay, there it is. All right, combine those now. Okay, so that's 4 ounces. Sean is a lot of ounces, maybe. That's another custom order from another repeat buyer. So a shout out to Sean. There he is. 11 ounces on that one. Oh, there we go. 11 ounces. And then I'm pretty sure Joel should be under 8 ounces. Where are you, Mr. Joel? There he is. All right. Joel, like I suspected, under 8 ounces. And then James is another bit of a heavy hitter. So James coming in at under 14 ounces. Oh, change it. There we go. And that's correct. That's correct. Dang! Another heavy hitter. For Anthony, he might beat Joel. Let's see. Yep, 15 ounces. Holy crap. There you go. 15 ounces. And that's once again an 8 ouncer. For sure. And I don't get it. Some of these packages through USPS are usually between $6 and $7. Now this is another 8 ounce package that wants to charge $7.46, but yet we can do FedEx for $6.79. So that just means now I have to go to 2 different places to drop these off instead of one. And I did the math. It'll only, based on the mileage, would only cost me an extra 20 cents to go out of my way to drop off that extra package. So I'm saving over $1. But even if I'm saving only $1, that adds up over time. If 100 times throughout the year, I drop a package off at FedEx, that's $100 extra I have for the year, or it could be 200, whatever. So, but you know what? Um, it's less than $1 in savings, and the heck with it, because I have so many packages and I don't want to mess up and forget to go there and accidentally drop it off. Like if it was just a couple packages and I didn't have a lot to do and still wasn't so mega busy, I would do that. So the heck with it. We'll just go all with USPS. Now that I look at it, it's actually less than $1 more, so not too bad, and it's all made up for by the massive orders I have, so it won't be too bad. Okay, so that's settled. Um, 15 by 15, 15 by 15. Oh, yeah. 15 by 15. 9 by 6 by 1. All right, 15, 15, 15. Oh, I'm glad I double checked. I didn't change one. Okay, yeah, there we go. 558 for one. Good thing I went back over these. Okay. 610 and then up to 12 ounces, still at 610. I always try to go as high as I can just to make sure it doesn't get underweighed. All right, review purchase. Yay! All right. Woohoo! All right, we can cut these up while those are cooking. Sometimes I debate on whether I should like print the labels first, then start the live, so there's not a lot of dead time. You know, that's probably what I'm going to start doing. Because again, yeah, I apologize for all the dead air, dead time. Yeah, I think that'll be a much better idea. So that way I could just start cutting labels and attaching and just get into the topics of the day and not make y'all wait around while I do my thing. I'm new at this, people, so I'm still figuring it out as I go along, and I have a long, long way to go compared to everyone else in the community that has had way more experience than I have and more followers and all that good stuff. So, it's but that's sometimes the best way to learn is obviously through experience. Experience is oftentimes the best teacher. So, yeah, gonna get these cut. And I wish I was as chatty as Fears. He could just go on off of any topic forever. I wish I could do that. I have to get really focused and stay on unfocused to, whatever. But I know it doesn't help. I'm trying to, do two or three things at once while also, trying to do this, do that, and all that good stuff. Yeah. All right, now we're starting to get on our way. Probably the hardest part of this whole thing is making sure I got all the labels right and the weights right and addresses right and all that good stuff. Okay, here we go. So yeah, gonna kind of go over my philosophies on finance, wealth building, and all that good stuff. And just kind of repeating, advice that's nothing new. It's nothing groundbreaking, but yeah, for anybody out there that is interested and wants to build wealth, or maybe they want to, but they don't know where to get started, how to start, whatever. So this advice is just mainly for, again, anyone that wants to start a business, but really goes for anybody, whether you are an employee, employer, doesn't matter. you want to build wealth, obviously you got to follow certain steps. You got to make certain sacrifices, to get it done. Um, and obviously, advice for people like me who come from nothing, grew up poor, don't have any rich aunts and uncles, moms and dads, or whatever it is, that, the only way to do it is to do it on your own, basically. And it's absolutely possible. So, like, so first we got to define, what does wealth mean? What does financial abundance mean? Because most people that, don't know anything about it or don't have wealth, uh, might be under the impression, let's say, that if you make a lot of money, that means you're rich. So let's say you have someone that makes $200,000 a year without knowing anything else about that person. Most people would be like, "Oh, they're rich, they're rocking it, they're making a lot of money." Well, that depends. So having a lot of money or making a lot of money does not is a whole different thing and doesn't automatically mean wealth or financial abundance. So, what is not building wealth? What is not what would be the opposite of financial abundance is anybody. It doesn't matter how much you make, whether you make $20,000 a year, $2 million a year, $200,000 a year. If you spend all of that money after living expenses on everything, like you make $200,000 a year, so you live a $200,000 a year lifestyle, then that is not financially, that's not financial abundance, and that person is just as poor as a person only making $20,000 or $30,000 a year and doing the same thing. Because the definition of financial abundance is, the whole idea is having more than enough, more than you'll ever need, and not just getting by, not living paycheck to paycheck. So, like, one way that I thought about, putting these examples to make them easier to understand is, I think most people would agree that the psychology of a poor person is the exact opposite of the psychology of a rich person, financially abundant person, right? So I look at it in terms of the opposite psychologies are this. The poor and both are greedy, and I'll explain what I mean. Poor people are greedy, rich people are greedy. So, for the poor person, how is the poor person greedy? And how can they be if they're poor? They can't afford to be greedy, right? Well, no. The poor person mentality is, they are object greedy. In other words, all they think about and care about is the stuff that they can buy with the money, however much money they have. They want everything, with no sacrifice. They want the newer cars. They want, the latest fashions, the latest tech, the latest everything. Want the vacations. I work hard, so I deserve it kind of mentality. And that's the priority. Like, getting the latest gadget, the latest video game, the latest high tech TV, the latest, whatever it is. And then, I work so hard, so I deserve a $2,000 vacation, and on and on and on. So they're more focused on the stuff. I want this. I want this new car. I want, whatever. Yo, it's me, Mini LC. Hey, what's up, Mini LC? Thanks for stopping by. I was just giving some solid financial advice. Take it or leave it, while cutting up some shipping labels, as usual. So in other words, the priority is stuff first. Money comes way down here, right? So I hope you understand what I mean when I say, so poor people are object greedy, material greedy. The rich person, the financially abundant person, is money greedy. Their top priority is money. So like the poor person would be more content with, if they, let's say, have $50,000 and they have a dream car that costs 40 or 45, they will spend all that money just to have that dream car at the cost of having almost nothing left in the bank. Whereas the rich person would be like, yeah, that is a dream car of mine and I have $50,000, but I'm willing to wait to delayed gratification and get more satisfaction over having that money in the bank and can sleep better at night knowing that I have that for emergencies and anything that could come up, because that financial security, the and the emotional security that would give you is far more worth than having that stupid car that isn't going to provide that. So the financially abundant person is money greedy, and that's their priority, making sure they have more than enough money, but all of the things, the material objects, come way down here. It's like the complete opposite. So yeah, so there's that. And okay, so I say that to point out, okay, so the difference between a rich person and a poor person. A poor person will figure out a way to spend 100% of their money, any money they have left over after living expenses, no matter how little or how much they have. They'll figure out a way to spend every penny on those materialistic things that, don't go up in value, they go down in value, whatever. Whereas the rich person will only spend percentages of their money on all of those expenditures, play money and what have you. Okay. So, okay. That. All right. This one is going out to Crystal in Lewisburg, North Carolina. All right. Now, even worse, the poor person that will not only spend 100% of their money on whatever expenditures, but then not have an emergency fund. They spent all their money, have nothing in the bank, and then, they just spent $2,000 or $3,000 on that dream vacation that they think they deserve. And then they come home and then, oh no, their transmission goes out on their car, or they have some huge emergency, but they just blew the last of their money on this vacation that they think they needed, and now we're totally screwed. Or even worse, they lose a job or whatever, and they live paycheck to paycheck, and now they're literally days, weeks away from becoming homeless because they didn't have any kind of emergency fund and not able to get a job in time and all that good stuff. So basically, if you can, save up money for an emergency fund, save up money for a rainy day, because life happens. It's unavoidable. You're going to have stuff that happens in your life that you can't foresee. You never know where you're going to need new tires or need an alternator replaced or a home repair, or you lose or break something. Now you got to replace it. You break your phone, you break a computer, whatever, and on and on and on. As well as you never know, there's no guarantees in life, nothing, things can always always almost always often changes when we least expect it and all that good stuff. So the three basic principles to building wealth is don't have any debt, avoid it like the plague, pay everything cash, don't put anything on credit, build an emergency fund of at least 6 months to a year's worth of living expenses, and spend less than you earn and invest the difference. That's what I say. Yep. Okay. Yay! This is going out to Deborah in Vacaville, California. Yeah. So yeah, so that's what I do, and it's something that I've adapted to. I would say since around my mid 20s, and I'm 29 now. So it's been working out pretty well for me. Always buy cars used, pay cash, no payments. Because the goal is to make my living expenses as little as possible, and set myself up to where doomsday could occur and I could lose the business and whatever, and still be able to easily get by on even a part-time minimum wage job and still be able to pay my bills while I figure something out. But like worst case scenario, I'll never get to a point to where, oh, I'm screwed financially because of whatever life happened, right? And then, yeah, so spend less than you earn, save up at least a 6 month to a year's emergency fund. And the key thing about the emergency fund, it's for emergencies only, not you save up 5,000 and then you're like, oh, I really need that vacation, or I really need whatever it is. I could take 2,000 out of that, still have 3,000 left over. Like, no, that would defeat the purpose. Like, the whole purpose is emergencies only. If you want to buy something else, save up outside of that and then buy whatever it is that you want to buy. Learn to delay gratification. Get into investing. Learn from old farts like me. Learn from our mistakes. For you people that are much younger, in your 20s, teenager, as soon as you start working, start investing. And whatever little that you can, from the age of 20, and by age 40, if you want, you can retire as a millionaire, maybe even multimillionaire, depending on how well you do with investing. And then for sure by 50, 60, easily be a multimillionaire. So I obviously got late into the game, unfortunately, but better late than never, as I say. Which one are you? There it is. All right. So this one is going out to Loyal in Las Vegas. Yeah. All right. And and it's a repeat customer. So thank you, Loyal. Boo says, and put the emergency fund in a high yield savings account. That's right. I haven't done that yet, but I am eventually going to do that as well. So, and I understand, like, I'm human. I like to spend money on stuff too, as well. If money was of no object, Lord knows all the extra crap that I would have that I don't need. The extra cars, the extra fill in the blank. Like, this would be totally different and be so much more badass. But, in due time. but you can spend while still saving. So, like, if you like to collect video games, Blu-rays, fill in the blank, doesn't matter. If you have $200 to spend, don't spend 100% of that money on those games, Blu-rays, action figures, whatever. Say, I'm only going to spend 50 of that, still have fun with that money, then take the other 150 and put it towards your emergency fund, towards investing, or whatever. So my goal is, no matter what happens, I try to make it to where I'm going to have more money at the beginning of every month. I keep track of that. Like, okay, as of January 1st, I had this much in all my total savings. So next month, I want to see it a little bit more. Whether I spend money on stuff or don't spend money on stuff, I want to be able to spend money but still have more money at the end of at the end of the month. If the thing I want to buy puts that not at risk, but like makes it to where it'll still be the same or less, I will wait. I will put it off for as long as humanly possible, But let's say I reach a month and I see, wow, I have 2,000 more this month than I did the last month. Again, I'm not going to spend that $2,000 and just blow it all. No, I'd be happy with spending maybe a couple hundred of that, and again, putting the rest back in emergency funds and investments and what have you. So long story short, so yeah, so my rule of thumb that I try to stick to is only spending around 10, 15, at the most maybe 20% on something that I don't need, whether it's action figures or new shirts or a video game, whatever it is that is not an essential, right? The rule of thumb is I'll only spend 10% or whatever leftover money that I have that technically I could do whatever I want with. So if I want to spend $100 on something, I'll have to first save 1,000. So now that 100 will only count to will only be 10% of that 1,000. So again, I get the best of both worlds. I get to spend the money on whatever I want and still have more money at the end of it, even after spending. Unlike, again, most poor people who will spend the whole 2,000, spend the whole 200, whatever it is, with no thought about putting a penny back in any kind of emergency fund or investment or whatever. So even if, let's say, one of my dream cars is a DeLorean time machine for Back to the Future. So even if I had $150,000 in liquid cash and I could buy my dream car right now, it'd be stupid for anybody, in my opinion, to that. Like, I technically have the money, I can buy it, but I'm not going to do that and go broke just for the sake of owning that dream car. There's nothing on this earth that is worth me going broke in order for me to have. I'll just do without. And I look at it as I've survived this long without this object, that, whatever, I'm just going to be more content with having the money in the bank. So let's say I have a dream car I want to buy that's $100,000. I would have to first save. I have $1 million in the bank, so now that 100,000 would only be 10% of that $1 million. Or if I want to spend 10,000 on something, I have to first have saved 100,000, so now that 10,000 is only 10%. So it's always in percentages. Okay. Fangirl Kate says, congrats on the troll war ending. Yes, thank you very much, and thanks for helping me to achieve that goal. So, yeah, and thanks to Yak for also helping out with that as well. So, long story short, one of the main reasons why I'm saying that, so that's what I do. I have a couple years worth of emergency fund, and I spend less than I earn. My living expenses is always way more than the money that I'm coming in. I have money that comes in, but not all that money's going out towards bills. I make sure that there's room to spare to where I'm going to have more money at the end of every month, to where I have more than enough money to save as well as spend, right? So, needless to say, basically what I'm saying is, so I don't live paycheck to paycheck. So when it comes to the business, it's not a do or die situation, or things aren't gonna, collapse. Like if I have a bad or slow week or slow month or slow several months, like I have all of that taken care of. So not to say I don't need the money, but it's not like urgent. So, um, in fact, it's just getting better and better with more business, more orders, and that's great. I'll never say no to money, of course. But and it's only going to get worse as I add more and more items to the store, as I have so many to go. But basically, so recently I raised the prices on all my items in the store to keep up with inflation, rise of fuel and shipping costs, and all that. So, um, but when I did that, I was doing that kind of hoping in a weird way that the orders would slow down, at least for a little bit. So, due to this maybe sticker shock and, yeah, maybe I'll buy later, or, I was ready to buy something now, but now I got to wait a few days so I could save up more money to buy whatever item. And I was hoping that would happen so that I would be able to have more time to catch up on other stuff. Because again, it's like I'm not super dependent on every order, every dollar, plenty of room there. So, but of course, now I've raised prices and I'm getting even more and more orders. So it's like done the opposite. But it's good because I don't have to worry, because it was a bit of a worry, like maybe things will slow down too much. But now I guess I don't have to worry about that. So I'm just saying. So to Jason and people that have sending me custom orders and all that, as well as wondering like when the vlog squad is going to get back together. It's I'm working on it. I'm almost done with catching up on my to-do list, my catch-up list. It's like I would have been done with this by this weekend probably, but just the orders just keep coming and coming and coming, and it's just like, and then I just got another custom order from another customer that I still got to get back to. So yeah, so Jason, my friend, it is coming, I promise. And of course, Monday is usually even the worst because now I'm dealing with the weekend buildup of packages, so it takes a little bit longer to make and print up the labels and get everything ready to go to the post office and all that. But I know you understand. Thank you for being so patient. Thank you for all of the orders that you have done through me. We're in the hundreds of dollars. I wouldn't be surprised. Almost $1,000 probably worth of product of product that you got from me through all the custom orders, and there's still more to come. I know. So yeah. Okay. Oh, phew. Are you really 29, Mike? I thought you were a bit older. I know people didn't like hearing that, but that's what I thought. All right, all right. I'm not really 29. Maybe a little bit older. Who's to say by how much? I'm still trying to figure that out myself. Maybe that's just because everyone else, like Zach and Fears and Dave, are 40 plus. Hey, Jack M9XF. What's going on? So, but either way, I am very fortunate and grateful to be in the position that I'm in. But again, it wasn't by accident. It's all by intention. I didn't accidentally get an emergency fund. I didn't accidentally get this business. It wasn't given to me. I work for everything that I do have. No handouts, no help, no financial assistance, no whatever. And I'm just, whatever. So again, if I'm also lacking on the content, again, that's also why. So that's why I say, too, even for a task that should only take an hour's time, that hour can turn into days and weeks. Because just when I get done and caught up on everything, I get back on the computer and, another order popped up. Oh, now I gotta go get more store supplies. Come back home. Oh, someone ordered batteries, and now I don't have any extras battery sets made, so now I gotta make more batteries. I'm low on shipping cardboard. I gotta cut and make more of those. It's always something, and so just a matter of figuring out how to make it to where I have more free time. So that's the goal. Is I hopefully by the middle of this week, I'll finally be caught up on everything and get to a point to where I can finally, after months and months, take some time off and just do things that have nothing to do with the business or YouTube or whatever for at least a couple days, 3 days of just mental reset, relaxation, and maybe that's also part of what made me blow up at Zach is all this frustration building up of I just want to catch up on everything. I just want some free time. I just want to play some video games. I just want to go do whatever. So, but I am so close to being able to do that. So stop ordering for me, people, so I can have some free time. Okay, so let's get back to this. Mike, I'd really like to see an RV trip happen with the Vlog Squad, even if it's just 2 days over the weekend. Yeah, me too. And that's the other thing, because I have places I want to go to for the YouTube channel. I want to, travel to other states and do movie location videos, and those are going to have to be super tight, because I know I'm just going to come back to that much more of a backlog of orders. So, like, if I can, if I could finagle it, I would do it in a day. Like, if there's a way to fly to whatever state, get what I need to done, and get done, and fly back the next day, if not by the next day at the latest, just to get that done, and that sort of thing. But if and when any of those times come where I can take more than one day off in a row, what I'm going to have to do is set all of my shipping settings to however many days I'm going to be gone. So I'll put will ship within 4 days, will ship within 5 days, or whatever. So that none of my accounts will get dinged or anything like that. Okay, so this one is going out to Krista in St. Charles, Illinois. All right. That makes sense to change the shipping settings. Yeah. All good, brother. I'm blessed. Worked my body beyond repair. I know about that. Very bad health, so I'm compensated very well. Military does pay. I'm retiring from working since 2018. Fully at 42 years old. Worth it. Well, thank you for your service, sir. And I can't wait to catch up on stuff so I could do a more proper focused on you guys live and not while I'm trying to work while doing a live. I've been dreaming of that, as silly as it sounds, for months and months and months. But it won't be long before I'll finally be able to get to getting back to those gaming streams and all that good stuff. Yeah. All right, our final envelope package. This one's going out to Nicholas in Moneta, South Carolina. Oh, yeah. Give me a break. But I'm glad I also was able to settle things with Zach, because it wouldn't be much of a vacation if that was still going on. Oh, I finally caught up and everything and can take some time off, but now there's still tension there and still, so that's another reason why it was so important to, like, do whatever I can to squash this as soon as possible and get back to normal. So I would be a weight lifted off the shoulder and can enjoy the time off if I ever get to it. If you look at the history of ETF funds over the last few decades, they've grown consistently higher. Heck yeah, that's what I'm focusing on right now too. I got several of those. So my investing plan for now, at least, is to start by investing in those things that aren't super high risk, but build over time. And then the more I get gains in the thousands and tens of thousands, then I could slowly reshift the strategy to, okay, now I could go from 100% safe investing to then, let's say, 90% safe, and then 10% putting it into maybe riskier but yet higher reward type of scenarios. Now that I have that cushion to play with, to where if I have one that goes wrong, I'm not going to go back completely into the red. I'll still be in the green. And then go 80 30, 20, and then maybe 70 30, and all that stuff. One benefit of an ETF is that if a company in the stock collection is doing bad, they get kicked out and replaced with a better company. Wow, that's good to know. I still have a lot to learn on that. And that's another thing that I've been trying to do is while working, I'll play YouTube videos talking about how to invest in stocks and ETFs and all that good stuff. Yeah. All right. Now we're down to y'all's favorite and mine. Tube time, y'alls. All right. So this one, where are you at? It's going to Quan in Yonkers, New York. Yeah. All right. So thank you everyone for sticking with me and bearing with me and still tuning in, even though this is boring crap and whatever. So, still trying to get it all together so I can bring you more fantastic lives and vlogs the best way I can. Oh boy. Like, if it wasn't for having to pay bills and do all this work, I'm pretty sure me and the boys would be hanging out at least once, if not twice a week, at least 3 or 4 times a month. So, like I said, kids, don't be me, don't be dumb. Invest while you can, while you're young, so you can have more free time once you reach, my feeble age of 54. Oh boy. But at least in my case, it's not too late. Like, it could be worse. I could have waited until I was in my 60s and 70s to be like, oh crap, I've been slacking off for too long. Now I'm too old and broken down to do any kind of work, really, and I'd be really screwed. So, it's not all bad. And like I said, I think I'm going to be just okay. All right, this one's going out to Anthony in Taylor, Missouri or Michigan. It's MI. One of the M's out there. Oh, yeah. This one is going out to another major, major repeat customer, Derek, who has ordered hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of my backdrops over time. I've lost count. I'm surprised he hasn't bought the entire inventory by now. So thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Derek from Hobie Sound, Florida, for being a continued loyal customer. I love my loyal customers. as I say, what better way for me to be assured that I'm putting out good products, good customer service for people to keep coming back over and over again. Because sometimes, you have doubts like, is this really good or is it just cheap garbage or is it. And still, despite the price hikes, still a lot of those same loyal repeat customers still keep coming back and haven't even mentioned it or complained about it really. So you guys are awesome, and thanks for being understanding. But even before the price hike that I just did, they were already on the super low side as it is. So I was long overdue for raising prices. I just never got around to it because, again, I'm so busy. So I raised them up even a little bit more so I wouldn't have to worry about doing it again for another 3, 4, 5 years. I don't want to have to do this every 6 months or every year, especially having hundreds and hundreds of items. And then it's only going to get worse as I add more hundreds and hundreds of items to where it'll become like a week thing to have to do that. So yeah, so that's the good news is these prices are here to stay for quite a while, so no worries there. And still comparatively competitive compared to what, other sellers that sell so similar items at similar prices. And this one's going out to Sean, who became a new repeat buyer, who had a custom request. So I did that for him the first time, and that was before the increase. And he came back with another huge mega custom order. So thanks to Sean in Winter Park, Florida. All my Florida boys. But also, I'm going to be investing in other like income streams that are more passive as well. Things that I can buy, set it, and forget it that will generate income. Let's say spending 2 or 3 thousand on this asset. That of course I'm not going to make that money back right away, even if it takes a year or 2 years to make that money back. But now that asset is producing me, even if it's as little as $200 or $300 extra a month. But once that money gets made back, now that's an easy extra $200 or $300 per month, and it all adds up. And then once I make the money back on that, then I go buy another one for another 2 or 3 thousand, and then that produces another until I get to that point to where, that's the next goal is to establish enough forms of passive income that let's say wouldn't make quite as much as a full-time job, but enough to at least pay my bills to where I could literally stop everything if I had to or needed to where I could stop the store and still have my bills paid and still have the emergency fund, if that makes sense, and take it like that, step by step. There, 2 left to go. All right, so this one going out to Joel in Tampa, Florida, about an hour and a half away from me. There we go. My good old stomping grounds, a good old Tampa, Florida. Uh, One more. So what else? What else shall we talk about? What else is on people's minds on this lovely day? This one is going out to James in Issaquah, WA. I don't know what that. Yeah. Oh crap. Are you for real? We did it. All packages labeled and no leftover shipping labels or packages or any problems? Well, yeah, heck yeah. Ended the drama, and it was a drama-free pack and ship. What else? What more can you ask for? Heck yeah. Wow. I have a good feeling about things to come for me, for the community, for YouTube, everything like that. So, yeah. It's a blessing and a curse, just getting nonstop orders, keeping busy, making the mad money, but less and less free time. So, there's definitely pros and cons to having your own business versus working for someone else. So I will say, you know, whatever you do that works for you, that's great. So I wouldn't knock either, but at least I could. I've come from both. Have had experience in both worlds. So one thing I do miss about being an employee and working for somebody else is having more free time, which uh, I would think I would have had more free time by starting my own business. Foolishly, but I'm not letting that stop me, or I'm not gonna ever be like, oh, this sucks. I'm gonna quit the business because it's taking up too much of my time. Never. I've dreamt about doing my own thing and having my own business and being an entrepreneur for years and years and years. So, and I've worked too long and hard and put too much blood, sweat, and time into this. So I'm going to keep it going for sure. Um, but if somebody 20 years ago would have visited my past self and said, one day you're going to become a workaholic, I never would have believed it. Um, but yeah, it's a 24/7 job between that and YouTube and whatever. But what I miss about having a job is, the good thing about a job is when you go to that job and you clock in and you do your 8-hour shift, you're only worried about the job and the company you're working for during that time. But as soon as you clock out, the hell with them. Now they have themselves to worry about. Now I can go home. No homework, no having to uh do any bookkeeping, keeping track of expenses, keeping track of earnings, dealing with customers and this, that, and the other. Like, your free time is completely your free time. I realized I was more freer in that sense having a regular job than doing this stuff. So something to keep in mind. It's like, so the good thing about working for somebody else is you don't have to worry about doing any of the marketing, the promoting, selling. You don't have to worry about doing the bookkeeping. You don't have to worry about doing the payroll. You don't have to worry about just so many things, but again, that's the trade-off. It's like, yeah, you're working by set schedule, but it's almost pretty much automatic. All you have to do is show up, do the job, go home, and then you get 2 days off out of the week, and they're true days off. It's like any time off you have, you don't have to do anything that has to do with that job. You don't have any homework. Well, most jobs, you guys know what I'm talking about. So that's the good thing. That's the one thing I miss about having a regular job. So yeah, compared to now. But at the same time, one of the good things about doing the business though is it has trained one of my worst traits out of me, as I used to be one of the biggest procrastinators on the planet. If I had something that I had to do by the 31st, I'd be doing it the day after, even if I had months to do it. Like I don't know if you'd call it laziness, maybe a little bit of laziness, where it's like, I'd rather be working on videos or working on my products that will one day become the future Hollywood toy store, or playing video games, or working on magic stuff, whatever, and on and on and on. And I was able to do that. So I was always had a financially ambitious mindset, but it was more up here and more thinking and talking, but less action. So, you know, so I could have been more financially ambitious from a younger age, but at least I started thinking about it and started reading the books and started listening to the audio programs about goal setting and how to build wealth, and so it's not nothing that I just started within the past few years. Since many years ago, I started listening to that stuff, and I would go to whatever regular job that I had, come home, and just sit there and play video games while thinking of all these fantastic ideas. Oh, I'm gonna do this. This is gonna make so much money here. But so I kind of realized that, again, pros and cons to everything. One of the pros about being younger is you have all the time in the world. You're younger, healthier, more vibrant, more energetic, more whatever, and you can, that luxury of saying, "Oh, I have my whole life ahead of me." So because of that, the detriment to that was, oh, I'll eventually get that. I'm super young right now, so I have time. So just more of a reason to put things off and then wake up one day and now it's like, now I'm not so young anymore. So I better get started on, I actually take action on these ideas or whatever. So so of course, getting old is going to suck for anybody. If for anybody lucky enough to grow old, unlike people who unfortunately pass untimely deaths due to accidents or cancer or deadly disease, whatever it is. But so for me, it took me getting older for me to kind of wake me up, like, man, I've been slacking off for too long. So I'm using that as a positive. Like, yeah, I'm a bit older now, but now I'm going to use that as all the more of a reason to be motivated to, get on the ball and make stuff happen and start with more doing and less just thinking about it. So, and then I started the business, and when I first started with only 10 or 15 items, it was even still easier to procrastinate. If I only got one or two orders, I have all day to work on those two little piece of crap orders. Won't take much, and I would do that. But then as I added more and more products over time, over the years, one order that I would put off and then wake up the next day or just a few hours later, one order can easily multiply, and then it's 3 orders, and then it's 5 orders, and then it's 7 orders, and then, oh, I only have 3 hours until I can make it to the post office. And so it's slowly but surely I've gotten to the point to where I'm not I'm the exact opposite now. Like, I can't rest or relax if I have anything on any kind of to-do list, not just orders. So it could be just one order, and I'm ready. I'm in for the night, ready to relax, getting ready to start to play a game, do a live, whatever, and then I got an order. Like, okay, and I stop everything, get that order taken care of, and then I can relax again until a few hours later, and another order comes in or whatever. So yeah, so that is the good thing. So multiple good things have come out of it. You know, like I said, has made me more of a ambitiously responsible person, not a procrastinator, just like obsessed with making sure I have everything done on the to-do list. Amber says, very interesting how you have transitioned. Yes, indeed. So, yeah. And I'm lucky enough to be in that position too, that I've been doing it so long that any money and time I put into it, I've already well more than made back, in profits over the years. So if it all were to suddenly come to a halt tomorrow, it would suck. Of course, I'd be upset, but at least it wouldn't be at a loss. Let's say I invested 3,000 in the beginning and I've made hundreds of thousands collectively over the years. That is a much better scenario versus if I just started, I spent that 3,000, and before I could even make that money back, then it came to a halt. Then it would be a total loss, and then really, 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 really suck then. So, yeah, I well more than made my money back from all the time and money I put into it. But of course I'm gonna keep going and all that stuff. And I'm sorry, I know I often talk a lot about me, my business, my work. But it's the only thing I could think of right now because, like I said, I again, due to, time and being so busy, make a list of, topics and things I could do lives about that's not focused on me or razor focused on me. Because I know I've repeated myself many times on all this stuff and other lives. But just to catch up on everybody, as well as for anybody that's new, that's watching, or recently new, and you guys know what I'd be talking about. You know what I mean? So yeah. Okay. But I want to get to a point where I can print up at least one extra of all of my best-selling items, so I could stay on top of that. So those will be ready to go in an emergency situation where, I've got everything packed up, and then I got a last-minute order that would normally take 20 to 30 minutes to make. But if I already have one ready to go, I'll save those just for those last-minute scenarios. I could pull that out, cut it up, roll it, pack it, and be out the door. As well as it's going to get to a point where it'll be a good idea at some point to get a second printer, so at least I can print twice as fast. And if I have orders that would take 2 hours to print up, with a second printer, now that 2 hours would get cut down to 1 hour. And every minute that I could shave off is obviously going to help. So yeah. So that's why, any reason, any day that goes by where I don't do a live, don't do a vlog, 99% of the time is due to I got orders to take care of and orders to take care of. But on a positive note, finally, after weeks and weeks and weeks, I was finally able, last night while on the peace panel with Zach, was able to finish making up, I think at this point, like 25 extra sets of Chucky batteries. Those are one of my most time-consuming items that I make. Unlike the backdrop where I just print it out and it's just a matter of waiting for it, then I can cut it with the cutter, cut off the borders, roll it up, and it's good to go. Unlike the Chucky batteries, first, aside from having to go to the store, and when I buy the batteries I make them with, I buy like 30 or 35 sets at a time, so I'm not having to constantly go back every week. I try to strive to have getting enough, so I have at least a month, if not a 2 months supply before I have to go back again. Come home and imagine unpacking all 30 sets of batteries. Step one. Step two, and of course, to be more efficient, I don't, obviously, when the order comes in, I don't make them as they come in. Like I, try to make the most efficient use of my time and will make up as many as I can in advance. So unpacking all the batteries. Then there's the tedious process of peeling off the original battery label off of the batteries. And now, keep in mind, 30 pairs of batteries, so 60 individual batteries that we're having to do this for. So, and I won't. Usually, I won't do it in one shot, or I'll take a day. Like day one is, and I still let's say I'm down to like my last 3 or 4 sets of batteries as it is, and that's why I got more because I'm running low. So day one, I'll unpack the batteries and then delabel them. Then the next day, I'll do the next step. So then there's printing out the actual battery labels, and then I have to cut out each individual battery label times 30, if not 60. Then I have to print and cut out the labeling part that goes on the top. Have to do that. Then I have to score each one of those so I can put the creases in there to fold those up. Then have to then cut and then label each of those 60 batteries. Then take the pairs of batteries, put it in the bag, and then put the labeling part on top times that, whatever. So that and the engine dinosaur information sheets are another one of my biggest pain in the butt items to make because it's 16 laminated pages and of different sizes. So not only do I got to print and cut 10 herbivore sheets, thankfully not the carnivore sheets, then I have to laminate those 16 sheets, and that's just for one set. So imagine the hell I go through just trying to make one, but then trying to make multiple. That just, again, takes up a whole day, if not 2 or 3 days, because I like to, again, try to make up at least 10 sets in advance. And that was the other thing that I wanted to finish, whatever, because those are just selling like hotcakes, and I just don't understand it. But it's great. And of course, as soon as I made up the extra sets, boom, 2 of these are those InGen sets. So yeah, I got 6 sets made up, 2 already sold. So now I'm down to only 4 ready to go. Because I get the laminating pouches from Walmart, pack of 150 for $25 or whatever. So like a couple days ago, I'm like, all right, I'm out of laminating pouches, so I need to go get some more. But of course, they're sold out. They were on sale from like 25 down to like less than 10, around $10. So now I have to wait for those to get back on stock again so I can make up even more. And I just want to get at least a few more of those done before I start this mini vacation. I just want to be able to take time off knowing that not only am I caught up, oh, wow, I can breathe now. I have 10 extra sets of engines. I have 20 extra sets of batteries. I have plenty of shipping cardboard cut up, ready to go. I have tubes ready to go. I just bought a bunch more of my backdrop paper again that comes in the rolls. This time I bought 15 rolls. And that was another 2 days of unrolling and cutting all of the different sizes that I need and put those away. So I don't want to jinx myself, but I don't think there's anything else besides making up a few more extra engine sets maybe and cutting up a little bit more cardboard, and I will be like super ahead and everything, caught up on all the filming projects for now, all the intros that I've been working on finally done. and all that stuff. Again, over the past couple days, as I do when I go to the post office on the way back, I hit the McDonald's to look for more cardboard. And the past couple days, of course, no cardboard. So like there's that. And so it just also depends on not just taking care of orders, but also being held back because of availability issues with not being able to get more cardboard or more laminating sheets or more this supply, or oh, I'm out of that and I have to order it. So now I gotta wait 3 to 5 days for it to come in the mail and all that good stuff. All right, folks. I think I've rambled on for long enough, unless anybody had any questions. So once again, thank you everybody for stopping by and joining me for another fantastic Mailing Monday, the only place where you can mail the movies. Thanks for everybody for helping to end the war. There's nothing I love more than peace. Wouldn't like some peace, mine? You know what I mean? Had a great shipping session, but yeah, I think from now on I'll just print the labels first, get all that sorted, and then start the live for future Mailing Mondays to try to eliminate as much of the dead air as possible. So I apologize for that, and I'm aware of it, so I understand, and I'm pretty sure that affects views. Probably people pop in and they just see me going all over the place and, oh, I'm going somewhere else, y'alls, or whatever it is. I'm getting there, but it is exhausting, but I'm getting there. I've got to get there for my own sanity, and for y'all's, you know what I mean? Yeah. All right. So looks like I'm done here and off and ready to go to the post office. But hopefully I'll make up for this by closing with a super awesome epic outro that I'm going to set up for you here in a second. So where is it? It is right... Yeah, right there. So thanks for joining me here today. For those of you that stuck around, I'm going to make it worth your while. Even though most of y'all probably have already seen this before, but if not, if it's good, it's good. And maybe, yeah. So blessed be all. Take care and check out these messages from the super cool guy I know who also loves you guys. Oh yeah. Well guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, then please consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this one. And leave me some comments. Give it a thumbs up and share the video. You can also follow me on all of my other social media, as well as visit the Hollywood Toys online store. The links are in the description box below. Now, stay tuned for even more amazing Hollywood Toys videos right after this. And to everyone out there watching, this is Magic Mike reminding you to live for your family and friends. Live your best life and live the movies.